And I love these types of flight paths, Godspeed, because they give us very fun circles.
They do. I'm not saying this is going to go military base, but this one is probably going to go military base.
We haven't seen Primorsk in a while, right?
I'm calling it now. I think it's going Millie. If I'm
you know, and
wrong-
already as well, we're seeing Oath take their Millie stance, right? Typically,
Sure.
don't always see them go out in this area unless that they feel fairly confident that this could be a very southern circles. They see them out on the west coast beyond 303, as well as Yahoo taking up their presence into Primorsk. And, you know, with that, when you kind of wait for that first circle to pop and we get an idea, I'm going to hold this thought for just a second because I think we should see the circle in just a moment. And we're going to know where it goes. It's going to be Millie. Is it Millie?
Oh!
Let's
got him
go,
good.
baby!
To be
Millie
fair, if it
circles.
didn't, to be fair, okay. Well, technically, this still can shift off Millie. That was just unfortunate for him. I guess he was going for a flank and it just didn't work out. Oh, and Roth's in a lot of trouble too.
Ooh. I mean, you go Veritas pulled off from the bridge, decided to go battle out for the crossroads. You already had Zenith that was in a position here, so Veritas pushing the back. We can see kind of in between this 2-2 split right now. Roth down. This is a little bit of help. Looks like he's gotten some help from Kickstart, is trying to lend a hand on this. Kickstart actually getting a knock
nice
onto
shot.
Keenan. That's going to be really huge to see Kickstart now taking more shots here onto Veritas. And that's going to allow Mystery an opportunity to rotate, find another angle. Meanwhile, 303 taking out Yahoo. Oh, unfortunately, this is the same spot yesterday that we saw Fabled and Houston Hardships at, right? And Fabled actually managed to come out of that on top. But
Leda.
Unfortunately, not as lucky for them. And there you have it, Leda getting the knock and flush onto Sharp Shot. Veritas struggling just a bit to hold this position. We can see Keenan was rezzed, and he's able to heal back up to full. But now you've got all of Zenith that have positioned themselves quite well around Veritas.
About Zenith, I just wish they could channel this type of cohesion all the time. And beautiful nades coming in. Nice shots coming out. Lady, he's going to headshot Keenan, actually. It's going to be a knock.
Pressure from Kickstart. Molotov is good. It's going to land right there on Keenan. Should maybe be enough to get the flush. We see Kickstart trying to find the angle onto this Jazza in a different building. Pentalol will get the knock onto Kickstart, finds the flush. Roth goes down as well. All that's left is Leda. Strong push here, though. Will get the knock on Penta. It's a 1v1 between both teams now. As I see Pentalol still is down as well as Roth. Whichever of these teams could win this might be able to get that res onto the other teammate. Leda looking for the angle. I can't quite find it just yet on Jazza. And uh-oh.
You saw him.
There we go. More mollies out. Ooh, that nice throwable. Jazza is on fire. Great molly. Trying to heal this off, but will it be enough? There we so we see the fire stop on it once again. And Leda going for the res right now onto Roth.
And this is about as mutually assured destruction as I've ever seen it. Jazza now going in for the push. He realizes the res was probably coming in onto Roth. And here comes the peek. He's going to find Roth, but beautiful by Leda. That was very well played, honestly, by both. I really think that was well played by both. Jazza did the best that he could. Leda with the patience, not to immediately go for the res, not even going immediately for the flush, just so he could get as much information as possible. Really love to see it. So thank you, boy.
This is a tricky position right now for Liberate, who are going to lose their boat here. It has been blown up by 303, and they've pushed them all the way down out in the water. So you've got Landoon, Honey Badger, D-Rich, Voxic. At this point, they're just kind of gone fishing, right? Liberate has nowhere to go except to swim up to the island here. So 303 could sit on this for quite some time and pick up some free kills. As we can see now, Ice Tech is actually going to get spotted out by D-Rich. So really, really, really unfortunate situation. Simply Matt, the last player now up for Liberate. You hate to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest with you. Honey Badger wasn't incredibly impressive when he was with Wildcard. However, on 303, I feel like whatever the chemistry, whatever it is, he has really been able to shine. Beautiful shots coming out. Almost knocked both.
Nice.
He is going to get one. So Zealot is going to be able to kind of get away smokes here, but here comes the rest of 303.
I mean, Honey Badger did get that knock there onto Steezy, pushing up for that flush as the rest of T8 is going to get on vehicles, send it back into the zone for safety. A couple more shots coming out from Landoon at range, but already T8's moved on, but now it's driving themselves very close to Oath as they're going to start laying into them, and we can still see damage from 303 onto this here.
So cruising,
they're
dude.
trying so hard to get this knock. We,
oh, man.
Zealot. Oh, no, Balefrost is actually going to get Zealot down.
He
And we see Liam gets the flush onto that. So, TAC 8 down to just 2 players.
That's
Losing
bad.
a tire
Really
there.
bad.
Liam, 24 health, has nowhere to go.
Horrendously
Gets
bad.
spotted out. Voxic's actually going to be the one to get this from 303.
And it's just down to Lush now. I mean, yeah.
It's just very unfortunate for T8. And if we take a look at the map, where is going to hold on to military base. And you can even see with the 303 positioning, Honey Badger actually sending pretty close up to Oath. But, you know, we talk about that position, right, where TAC 8 was. And had they stayed there a little bit longer, they might have been able to fight out 303 for that positioning.
Yeah.
Another quick thing I want to bring up, Simply Matt for Liberate is still alive and has managed to make it to the mainland. So there's a chance, Godspeed. You might have been right.
There's always hope. You know, I never give up on the underdogs. But this is actually a really nice position that Zovrin and the rest of Gravity have gone into. They were holding a split on these 2 bunkers. It looks like they are going to consolidate into one. It's going to be the one that actually Duel is pushing up on right now.
Ooh, Cherry has managed to make it up on top as the rest of Duel closing in. We can see Leda up in the distance there on the mini-map. But 303 continuing the fight right now with Oath and Carnage. If 303 could just take a little bit of a glance further north, might be able to help out Gravity there versus Oath. And even more action right now as we see Comets taking a bit of a crash onto Sonics. Mime's already picked up 1 kill so far for the day, but it's pretty much busy all throughout military compound right now.
Yeah, and this is a very claustrophobic place to fight, by the way, inside of the smokestack building. It's there's a lot of angles, but there's also a lot of corridors that cut off quite a few of those angles. Depending on where you are in the building, it can be it's kind of a puzzle to figure out how exactly you want to approach this. And I think Comets is really trying to take their time because Sonics actually has a really good setup on this.
Yeah, I really like the use of Molotovs and throwables, as you said, in close range. And that's going to push Comets back out to the corner, allowing Sonics to hold this just a little bit longer. Meanwhile, 303 coming down from the high ground and regrouping as they continue to chase Carnage out of this area. Carnage did rotate through their setup early on. We see D-Rich has actually chased Ripper all the way over here.
Ooh,
nice Molotov should spread right inside. Ripper's got nowhere to go. D-Rich picks
Beautiful.
that one up.
D-Rich.
Love to see it. 10 kills right now for 303. I mean, just insane.
Yeah, again, these guys have improved immensely. Controlling their edge is, I think, their biggest strength right now is something they've really grown into. I mean, we saw them come into this edge initially. Circle shifted away. They immediately took the fight with TAC 8. They pushed them off. To be fair, TAC 8 just ran anyways. But I really, really love what we're seeing from 303 with D-Rich and Honey Badger. I mean, I think those are definitely the standouts from that squad. And that's not to take away from the other 2 members. I just think those are the ones that are really putting in the initial legwork of putting them in those positions and taking the fights and opening in the
speaking
knocks.
of putting in all that work, Gaxi for Radiance has been an absolute improvement there.
So
He's going to
good.
get the knock onto Cherry. Radiance trying to steal this position. I remember Gravity is still inside. You see Lampalot take a peek over the ridge. We'll take some damage from, I believe, Waldo. And we see McCoy trying to hold this angle as well. Meanwhile, Gravity reading the situation, will push out, gets a knock and flush onto Lampalot. And we've got 3 squads fighting it out right here on the hill, but still other teams taking shots and close. Gaxi getting the last player of Duel. They will be eliminated, but Gravity still in this fight. You see both Pankill, Zovrin, and Inland trying to spot them out. Gaxi gets the knock onto Inland, but it is traded. Zovrin getting Gaxi down as well. A nade is out by Gravity. Underhanded should be good to do some damage here. Gravity loses another there. McCoy getting one more. He's the last one still up, looking for a res right now. Well, it looks like Pankill is actually going to sit in the Dacia.
And I like Gravity's idea of potentially coming out from the bunker after they heard the fight with Duel, but they also, I feel like, did it in a very awkward way that didn't work out for them. Still, Pankill's not giving up, though, but that is going to be it. Radiance is going to wipe Gravity, and they should be able to recover here at least 3. So, well done to Radiance again. This team just continuing to become the team that I thought they would be, which is a powerhouse in this lobby.
And Radiance now will have a little bit of time to recover. Meanwhile, Sonics just eliminated.
Oh my goodness.
Comets, and we'll get a knock there onto Balefrost. Strimsy gets one, Patcap's very low, picks up the flush very quickly. 6 kills right now for Sonics if he continue to hold the main building. But as they pushed out to check out what was going on to the teams to the south, they've allowed Elusive to backfill that position that they fought Comets so hard against. And already we see Strimsy, I think, reading that situation, realizing what's going on, and trying to investigate back out in the distance as well. Orion could walk onto this. So, Elusive, you know,
I love
another
that
team,
Dacia.
right?
Yeah, sorry, real quick. I love the way that they position the dossier in the front of that building to make it even more of a pain to get past. I mean, Sonic's
look at this.
Really smart, man.
I mean, really great setup by Elusive, but as we've already seen with Sonics quite a bit, one or two little bits of utility could be enough to break this here as Strimzy is going to come around the corner, immediately spotted and taken down by T-Sock as 2 send out. Sneak attack gets the knock and flush onto Mime. Well, T-Sock will go down, but that's 2 players now for Sonics, not in a great place. Tiggleton's still up, but Tiggleton was holding a different angle on the building, so we can see just a bit low onto this. So Elusive will fall down to a 3-man onto this. We see more utility coming out from Tiggs. He's still got both a Molotov and a nade to work with here.
What do you got, Tig? This is your grand return, buddy. What do you got? Definitely, I would put Tig against almost any 1v3 here, but this is tough. I mean, Elusive has... they have a decent little spread here, and they're holding all different angles for the most part. So Tig's going to really have to work for this, but he might just get a spray there, and that's the first.
Oh, Fizz, really unfortunate jump. Just made that so much easier for Tiggleton as he will get that knock and flush. But a beautifully thrown Molly is going to push Tig away, whose health was already a bit low. Sneak attack getting him down to 24. The boosters lending a hand here. We can see Tig will survive just a bit longer.
He just has bandages.
15 bandages, and that's it. And now as we kind of factor in what's going on here with 303, we'll be driving on past TAC A. I think Honey Badger once again sending it just ahead of the game, trying to help out. Looks like Voxix taking some shots. Honey Badger will get out Lush, and that means that TAC 8 is no longer a problem. So the West is 303's. You still need to be mindful of that position from Oath, and way off in the distance. Radiant still holding the high ground on the edge. So 7 teams, 18 players left alive. A true Millie compound finish is what we look like we're getting out of this. Now the circle has moved again, and we see McCoy has already scouted out a very nice position for Radiance to move as the rest of the team starts to send it there to match. Meanwhile, Leda is laying a little bit low, trying to keep quiet there for Zenith. I'm not sure if Radiance realizes exactly where his positioning is, and that could be a bit of an advantage to Leda if he wants to do something with this. As well, now as 303 do need to send it in from their positions, we can take a look at the minimap, start to see that movement. So for 17 players left alive, this is going to be, as you said earlier, quite claustrophobic and a lot of these buildings. But again, now you kind of have really what's left to work with. Maybe if that Phase 8 goes down south and stays on this building, or if it goes back up towards Radiance and it's out in the open. So you've got all 4 teams in this compound now that are going to have to kind of fight it out from each other. And so now with Orion has all of that open space ahead of them. Smokes are coming out, but you've got Radiance 303 all with eyes on this. And wherever Orion pushes forward, the safest position for them is the compound. So I don't know. Here we go. As he said, here we go. Smokes are out. Oath is first to take a movement. 303 is actually going to leave the compound entirely and push onto the open ground. Honey Badger got a lot of information that he could on both Orion and Radiance. So Radiance, remember, was taking some shots onto Oath. And so 303 sitting on 13 kills. Oh, this is really good position to put some playing aggressive to the zone.
Yeah, they're playing aggressive on Orion's own smokes. I really love this.
Honey Badger getting that knock onto Potato. Looking for another angle. I love Gwen Stacy, though, getting him down to 2 health. Hasn't found the knock just yet. D-Rich, meanwhile, will get the flush onto Potato as they're using Orion's own smokes against them here. Good coverage here. D-Rich trying to get another one, but Honey Badger actually gets taken out by a nade thrown by Ranger. D-Rich very low. I love Gwen Stacy gets them here. Another knock, unfortunately, for 303. We've lost 2 players in this push. Voxix, the last one still up. Now, meanwhile, Radiance has managed to get across and push just to the outside of the building. But you still got Tig and Elusive.
Voxix coming out
huge push right up on the back of that.
For 303 as this Molly comes out, and it's still Ranger. But as you said, Radiance has been able to kind of just chill. You know, they've stuck their way in. They didn't have to deal with that because 303 and Orion, you know, took all the action and really all the attention away from themselves, and now we have to deal with this fight that's inside, and this is so claustrophobic.
Ooh, there you go. Flashbang is out for Tiggleton, but it may have bounced just too far. We'll get a little bit more damage onto Elusive here. Hasn't found the flush ship, but you can hear Oath making that push. Relo finds Tiggs. That's unfortunate for Sonics as they go out in 6, but now strong and heavy push coming in from Oath as they're looking to clean up Elusive here. We can see Fizzle trying to stay ahead, of the Molotovs. GLD unfortunately running right in the Molotovs. Didn't see it through the smoke. As you can see him start to bleed out there, and Orion, meanwhile, is eliminated. Voxic actually gets the last knock, so 4 teams, 10 players left alive. As we said, a complete bloodbath. Molotovs ahoy. Elusive falls now down to 3 teams, 7 left alive. Honey Badger falls down again. Voxic, meanwhile, getting a knock onto McCoy. Radiance falls here as well. Coming around the corner, Voxic finds a second one. Gaxi, all that's left, and look how close this circle is getting. 18 kills right now for 303.
Oh, right in front of you. Oh, you can't see the smoke.
Nobody can see what's going on.
Oh, can I get the other one?
Finds a second one. Oath eliminated in 3rd place, and it is a heal off Gaxi trying to stay alive above Voxic, but unfortunately the bullets for Oath were just too much. Radiance wins it in the end. I mean, that was insane.
That is one of the best performances I have seen from Voxic in a long while, and what a way to come alive in the end. I know Radiance won that game, the way that they played that, the way that they used the other teams, really paying attention to each other to move in and secure that position, especially on the dot. Hats off to them, but really, 303 was absolutely bonkers in that match.
I mean, the whole match.
I have nothing but praise for 3. That was insanity.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no die from last shine. I pray my dick get big as the Apple time, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours.